This week we're looking at wise words for families, number 5 in our series on family seasons. And of course, as soon as you talk about wise words, you're talking about Proverbs, the idea of wisdom literature, thinking good things, trying to work out what makes sense. And we want to use words like wisdom and intelligence and understanding and insight and all those things which are to do with the way that we consider the world in which we live. And we're given Proverbs, Matthew, 1 Corinthians, and then a whole lot of Proverbs to look at this week. And I've just been working on the Free Bible Version translation of the Proverbs. And it's been fascinating for me to go through and look at the wise and the stupid. That's really what it comes down to. If you're wise, you'll think this way and you'll do these kinds of things. If you're stupid, you won't be thinking and you'll end up doing all these crazy things. And really, that means a lot to us as believers, that we do want to do the right things because the right things make such good sense. God isn't there trying to sort of point the finger and say, I'm offended when you do this kind of thing. No, he gives us these guidelines, if you want, for life. They're called commandments, they're called instructions, they're called teachings. They're in Proverbs and so on. But what God really wants is for you to live a good life because it helps you and those around you, your family, your friends, your work colleagues, everybody. So as we think of wise words for families, how do we relate? How do we operate? Look at all those proverbs that were given there. They are there for a good reason, to help us to understand that that's what we should be looking for, thinking of things that do make sense. Because I believe in a God who makes sense. Even wrote a little book called that, The God Who Makes Sense, because it has to make sense, all of this. Our minds are programmed to make sense of the world around us. Even from early days, from childhood, we look around trying to make sense of everything that we see. Can you imagine, as a little baby, all you're getting are these lights and sounds, the different colors. Your brain is having to interpret what they mean. And eventually, of course, they identify mother, father, their world around them, start even beginning to speak by hearing and then copying what's said and so on. That's what it's like in the Christian experience. We start off as babes in the truth, as it were, but then we develop, and hopefully we develop in the right kind of way, with our minds seeking for truth, looking for what is wise. What makes me wise? Is it my intelligence? No. Is it the things that I know, all the stuff I've studied from science and literature and all the rest? No, it's not even that. It's not knowledge in the sense of simply the facts. It's how we apply those things in our lives. You may know very well that this is the right thing to do, but do you do it? And when you treat others in your family, especially your children, what kind of role model are you giving them? How are you demonstrating God to them in their little world? How do they see things? Are you helping them to understand what is true and good and right? Because that's what God wants us to be doing. He's not saying you've got to be good or else, love me or I'll kill you. No, he's saying, I want you to do good. I want you to love in the best possible way, because that's the most important thing for you. And as a result, we develop, we grow, and we become happy in the way that we are, because we're relating to each other and to God in the best possible way that we can. Yes, there will be faults, yes, there will be failings, but let's look for those wise words of wisdom, wise words for our family. Learn from what God has said in his word, practice them in our lives. Let's do just that.